welcome back to part 2 of our Weelee battle between a 2023 Corolla Cross Hybrid and a 2025 Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid. We're often asked about comparing brand new Chinese brands to used legacy brands, and after some testing and some non-scientific brake testing too, so far the competition has been close.
Jeremy Clarkson, James May and Richard Hammond, others can be jealous of you. Nikki and myself don't need to be. Proudly, all things motoring, doing what we love. I'm in the incredible Chery HEV. We're about to go around Zwartkops Raceway. The track is in absolutely superb condition, it always is. That is Tanya and Pida, the people who look after and own Zwartkops Raceway. Incredible. Hope you enjoy.
Now it's time for Mike and Nikki to hit the track and feel what these cars are like to drive.
So I've hopped into the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid, and yeah, I'm interested to see how it handles. Basically the whole thing here is for me to understand the handling that I don't get to experience on such cars on a track, for example. Because a track, there's all the corners, there's the hard braking, then there's the acceleration out of a corner.
The moment you pull off in this Chery, it just feels absolutely incredible. It really, you ask yourself always, could I live with this car every single day? I could live with this car 7 days a week. If you're a mom, if you're a young person who's looking for this category of car, you drive this car, I assure you, it might be very difficult for you to see the need to drive anything else.
Okay, not too much body roll into the curves. It'll be interesting into the slalom to see how it feels here into the slalom. Gotta pedal it a bit harder, It handles quite well actually into the slalom. Because that was my first run, I was on the safe side, but it handles quite well. Well, another thing I'm picking up is on that high-speed curve, or second high-speed curve here at Zwartkops, is that it has a lot of body roll. Like I could feel myself, my weight, and the car go to the left. And it's something that the Swift and this are struggling in. Holo, not as much. So like as I'm doing this, I can feel myself go to that side. So it's something that I wouldn't want to feel in a vehicle like this. But at the end of the day, these cars aren't meant for track. So it's one of the few things that you need to look out for.
To the slalom, very solid. So now what we're doing here is simulating what we would do every day on the road. Handling of the Chery, superb. We were in some smaller cars before, and what you will find is this Chery is a mid-size SUV. It's not Fortuner size, it's obviously the same size as the Corolla Cross. You can feel you're carrying weight, and that weight always will affect you in the corners. Does it feel sure-footed? Absolutely. Does it feel as sure-footed as a Polo?
Here.
It cannot. And Chery thought I wanted to talk to her. She said, yeah, I'm also here.
So the speed, it actually picks up well. You generally don't feel the speed because of the hybridness of the vehicle. How quiet it is, it just pulls off quietly. There's no dramatic gear changes or anything like that. It just pulls off quite quietly.
Coming into the corners, what impresses me is the braking ability. I'm not absolutely convinced that Chinese vehicles come into South Africa on the best quality tires, and that's not taking a cheap shot, but you've just got to believe this is not Michelin, Pirelli, Bridgestone, Yokohama type quality coming in from China. Nikki's pushing on beautifully in the Corolla in front of me, but I'm finding it very easy to keep up with him. Very good in the slalom, very sure-footed. So again, when I refer to the slalom, overseas they call it the moose test, where you have a rapid change of movement that simulates what would happen if an animal ran onto the road. Very good. I can honestly say all the cars we've driven, modern cars, are fantastic. At higher revs, the Chery becomes a little bit harsh, not too harsh, but it's noticeably harsher than what I would have expected.
So I'll slow down and do the slalom a bit faster this time around. Handles quite well in the slalom. The only thing that I picked up in the slalom is that when you come too fast and you let off, it's like it cuts all the power, and then you do the slalom slowly first, and then once you're in the slalom and getting out of the slalom, it's a bit more faster. So I think that's the only thing I don't like. I would have loved it to maintain its speed, but other than that, very good car.
What is absolutely superb about this car is the day-to-day dynamics. And when I say day-to-day dynamics, I live in a real world. So I want to see the speedometer easily, I want to see the rev counter easily, I want to see everything easily. This vehicle's got a height adjustable steering for rake and reach. The steering has superb adjustment, and Chery, you have done well. So I had the opportunity to go in the Chery first. Now I'm in the Corolla Cross. Pull-off wise, very, very different. The Corolla feels much more moderate, whereas the Chery feels stronger. But both feel very, very good. Immediately you do hear that the Toyota's got quite a harsh-ish engine. Car feels very, very solid. About to go to the slalom. One of the criticisms often leveled at the Corolla Cross is road noise and wind noise. I can tell you immediately it's much noisier in every single aspect than the Chery. The noise from the engine is noticeably more. Tire squeal, I would say, is similar, but wind noise absolutely noticeably more. Brakes very, very good. Steering very, very good. I think there's better tires on the Toyota, definitely less tire squeal, and it feels better in the corners.
It has entered sport mode.
Obviously, first things first, change the car into sport mode. One thing I am picking up, the steering wheel feel is very light. And I don't mind it being light in eco mode or normal mode or anything like that. But as the vehicle says, it has a sport mode. You'd want the car steering wheel to be a lot stiffer. A steering wheel like this is very, very flimsy, very light, so it's not communicating with the wheels directly, essentially. So basically, if the wheels are doing right, you're not doing the exact same input, basically. So it doesn't inspire that confidence for me personally. I want to see here by the slalom how I'm gonna handle it with that. No, the steering wheel is not the best. It's too light. Definitely a big flaw. The steering wheel needs to be a bit more weighted, because what it's doing now on a high-speed curve like the one I'm on now, you want to keep the steering wheel at one angle, essentially, like basically this, right? Because you don't want to do too much movement on the steering wheel. The wheels are doing the right thing, but the steering wheel is doing this. It's playing around because you are the one playing around because it's too light. So you're trying to find that perfect point for the vehicle. So it's too light. I think that's my biggest flaw with this vehicle. Aside from that, power is there. Power out of the corners, it's there. Under braking as well, it's okay. It's fine. Under braking, the power, I can definitely feel it, especially being a hybrid. So when you get into a corner like this, you put your foot out, it pushes you out of the corner, and then the engine kicks in, and then it starts screaming the way it's screaming for reference. Then you go hard on the brake, then you just hold it. It's like this same curve I'm talking about. You just want to hold it without playing too much with the steering wheel. Then in terms of the weight, it's not as floaty or doesn't go to one side as much as the Swift and the Toyota Corolla Cross. And if I'm comparing this, especially since the whole test is with the Corolla Cross, those feels much better around corners than the Corolla Cross. The Corolla Cross feels more, it shifts too much to one side, but it has the steering wheel feel to it. So if I could have the balance of this vehicle with the steering wheel of that Corolla Cross and the power of this, definitely up there, top.
We always talk about, could you live with a car every single day? The Chery, I would not find tiring at all, whereas the Toyota, I must say, I think this car would make its occupants tired. If I was getting in this car and driving 400 kilometers to Nelspruit or Bloemfontein or 600 kilometers to Durban, I would feel tired. Handling on the Toyota, noticeably a little bit sharper than the Chery. And that's what's interesting. Each car has got something that the other doesn't. I want to take the slalom slightly faster. You'll hear again, coming through the mic, the harshness of this engine. I must say, I would find that very difficult to live with every single day. My verdict, driving this around the track, the Chery takes it comfortably. So it's late in the afternoon, the sun is going down, but I tell you what, I come off track, no matter what I'm doing on track. I can be doing the drag, I can be doing braking, going around the track. I've still got that like energy and a little bit sweaty palms. Yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I could go back on track, but the sun is down, so we need to wrap up everything. And I want to speak about braking and how close these vehicles were. Although the Toyota did win, but in terms of braking for you.
So it's interesting, I felt that the Chery felt better under brakes, especially on track. The Toyota shaded, but when we say shaded, as you'll see on your screen right now, we're talking about number plate width. The braking, I think we did at 60 kilometers an hour on the nose.
Yeah.
Real world, pushing it to 80, 90, 100, 110 on the track. What felt better?
The Chery comes into play in that aspect. But when we focus on just the braking test that we did, we've got to give a point to Toyota. So Toyota comes back. Now it's 2-2. Toyota's back in the race again.
You'd swear FIFA was fixing the results or manipulating them, but 2-2. What's next?
Then we did the drag race.
That surprised both of us.
Yes, surprised us both because off the line, like you said, off the line, this was much better.
It felt like this bogged down. It literally felt like this car bogged down.
So I think it's the lag that's with the hybrid system. The car takes a bit of time for it to react, but once it gets going, it's like, can't compete anymore, you know? On track performance, that. But for me, overall, including steering and all of that, and the weight shift, for me, it has to be the Chery.
Right.
The Chery, that's on the weaker side of things. And I think the thing that lets it down the most is the steering wheel. The steering wheel is too light. Like it's too, there's no connection between the steering wheel and the wheels. So you feel like, especially the high-speed curve coming out of that high speed, which is the third corner, fourth corner of this track, going to the whole incline. You have to play with the steering wheel just to keep the wheels straight or at a certain angle. You have to play because it's too light. Whereas in the Corolla, just put it like that and it takes it.
Now this is what I love. Remember, if it was one was better than the other wouldn't exist. If one was definitively the better product, the other one wouldn't have any sales. I felt the exact opposite.
Although the fuel consumption figures are similar on paper, real-world figures do seem to favor the Toyota. But what else are test drivers noticing?
On track, I thought I liked the steering more.
Okay.
The engine felt harsh for me on the Toyota. I commented repeatedly on camera, the engine felt harsh. Tractability, this felt much stronger. So for me, on track experience, everything about this ticked the box. This didn't feel bad.
Okay.
Don't misunderstand me, but definitely not giving it to the Toyota on track.
On track.
So where's the score right now, FIFA?
So it was 2-2 after the break. Did the drag, that won 3-2. Overall, you're going with that.
I'm going with that. So we 4-3.
Okay, so let's do this. You're going with that.
Correct. And you're going with that.
I'm going with this. So it makes it very tight. So I'm putting this question to you. These cars are in and around the same price. So to point out, this has 50,000 Ks. You can get these at Weelee for around 400,000 Rand, paying around that mark. That's a brand new one. And a brand new one of that hybrid starts at 439. So basically in and around the same money. So your own money, hard-earned money, which one are you buying?
I'm a betting man and I have to put my money down long term. I'm going to go Toyota. But I'm not a betting man. I just want to drive the car for 3 years and I've got to live with it every single day. I'm honest with you, I could not live with the harshness of that car.
So you're going to go with that?
100%.
So Mike, I hear you. You're saying 4-3.
You heard me, that's fine. And cut. Oh, sorry, you got more?
I'm not done. We got to speak about something that this car carries. And it's literally just this.
No question.
This, like you said it, reliability, you have it.
Of course.
Resale value, you have it. Those cars, like I said, you can get for around 400,000 Rand. 2 years from now, how much would that cost? So I think, looking at overallness of this car, I think we got to bring it back to a point. And speaking about what you spoke about, 4 points this side, 4 points that side, I think it boils down to the type of person that wants the car. Are you looking at 2-3 years, or are you looking at 5 to 10 years? Then you can have an idea. But for me personally, right now, this is where I'm spending my money.
So we talk about brand cachet. Now, you look at Toyota, everything keeps going right, Toyota. They're not trying to be as tech savvy. They always know they've got the reliability, they've got the resale value, and you cannot place enough emphasis on the resale value. What I want to say to the team at Chery in South Africa, the team at Chery internationally, the fact that we're even having a debate and that it's not a 6-0 to Toyota is incredible. So we were at 4-3, you've raised a very valid point. And because of your youth and inexperience, I'm going to give it to you. 4-all, it's a draw.
Thank you.
Penalty shootout doesn't happen here. To Chery and Toyota, guys, both of you can be very, very proud. You've got a top seller. You've got an incredibly popular car that is going up the sales charts. Where's Chery now in the sales charts?
In the sales
5,
charts,
6, 7?
I'm like basically around 6 and 7. Maybe I stand to be corrected, but they're playing over there. So remember, Chery has Omoda and J-Crew underneath, but they separate the sales. They don't put the sales together. If they put all those sales together, they definitely is in the top 5.
And Toyota have a Toyota Hiace. So let's be fair. To the team at Toyota, to the team at Chery, well done, shake hands, you drew this one, but both can be very, very proud. As can you, young man.
Thank you. I'm a winner for today, though. Like my beautiful team, Liverpool, unlike Arsenal.
I'll decide about that. We've done it in a few other cars, so we've got a nice... one of the concerns...
So Mike is behind me actually in the Chery to go cross, and he's actually keeping up quite well. Mind you, I'm the race driver over here.